Hey, what's up, guys? Rocket here. Today, I'm going to walk you through how you can get a job in software development with no degree. All right, and before we continue, go ahead and like and subscribe. And if you're not following us, make sure to hit that bell and get notified. That way, whenever we come out with new content, you can stay up to date. All right, so let's jump in. What do you need to become a software developer without a degree? Well, first, more than anything else, you have to learn how to, write software. So let's talk about some of the really easy and free places that you can learn how to write software on your own time. All right. So number one, my number one recommendation is w3schools.com. They have grown from when I started using them. It was like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and I think they were just dabbling in PHP. And now it has grown into essentially every major language you can now learn for free on w3schools.com. Everything from starting about how to install your IDE or how to install the language, how to manipulate very simple things, all the way up to machine learning with Python and how to, write full components out in React. Like, you can go very, very in depth on W3 Schools now to a certain limit. There's obviously, it doesn't tell you everything, but you can learn quite a bit for completely free. And this does not just cover front end, like I said. This covers Python. C# is on there now. I think R is on there. And then also SQL is on there. So if you're learning data analytics and things like that, definitely a really cool place to check out. Some other options for you would be Pluralsight, which personally is one of my favorites. I would say that if you are more of a video consumer and you like to watch tutorial videos, Pluralsight is definitely for you over W3 Schools. W3 Schools is definitely more of a reading, and then you do labs and you're hands-on. Pluralsight is much more video and video consumption. So 2 different options for you there to start. Pluralsight is not free, however, while W3 Schools is. So I always recommend people, if you're not sure if that's what you want to do, then definitely go check out W3 Schools because it's completely free to you. It's just your time that you're having to use up, and it's well worth it if that's the path that you're wanting to go down. All right, so let's say that you now have a place to learn how to code, which would be W3 Schools, Pluralsight, or whatever else you choose. Now, how do I apply that knowledge that I've learned and that I'm continuing to learn? The next step is for you to pick a project. So whether that is a game like tic-tac-toe that you're going to build on the front end, or say that you're going to consume API data from Google Maps and you're going to do some, data manipulation that's going to tell you all the taco places that are opening up in the nation on a daily basis, right? Say that's actually a really cool project. I should totally do that project. Those are just a couple of examples, but basically you want to pick a project that means something to you that you could actually use, right? The tic-tac-toe games, I know I said that, but I tend to find projects especially when I'm learning a new language or I'm learning a new library or a framework, then I tend to pick a project that I'm going to come back to and that I'm going to rely on. Build the automation or build the project around something that's going to help you. And I know that's hard for a lot of people because they may not realize all the potentials out there. But definitely try to think hard about what you're trying to accomplish before you start a for-fun project. Because if you're not interested in it after like a day or two and there's not an end goal that you're going to use it later on, then you're just going to give up on it. In my personal opinion, it just kind of peters out and you're just like, it's not really, I kind of want to try a different project. Or when you get stuck, you're just like, screw it. This didn't even mean anything to me anyway. But if it means something to you and it's going to benefit you, you're going to be pushed a lot harder to continue on. Which kind of brings me to my next thing. There's always a point in every software developer's learning path that we're just like, this really sucks. Like, it could be that I'm, having to go through a giant API and I'm having to authenticate weird ways, or I'm building out some really, really big application and there's just you're staring down, say, 50 Lambda functions that you have to write. You're staring down 3 servers that you have to get up and running, or maybe it's 10 servers, maybe it's 5 S3 buckets, or say that it's I got to write 50 different components on the front end, right? Everyone in IT, not just software development, we hit this big old wall. At least I hit it at least once a year, that I just hit a huge wall, but I know a lot of people hit it less or more. That is just part of software development. For anyone who thinks it's going to be easy, it's not easy. That's pretty much what I'm trying to tell all you guys. It is not easy to be a software developer. It takes time and dedication and commitment to get to where you want to get. All right. With that being said, the next actual item I would say that you have to do is once you've built that project, you now have to put it up on GitHub, or if you have your other repository, but really it's just GitHub for your personal stuff. So you put it up on GitHub, and that becomes part of your portfolio. Similar to how actors have a portfolio and writers have a portfolio, you as a software developer have a portfolio to showcase your work. Now, I'm telling you this as the recommended ways to get a job as a software developer with no degree. This is not the path I took at all. And we'll cover that on a different episode, but basically I didn't have any portfolio. I learned on the job. I learned from my managers and my peers how to write software. So that is also another option if you were in that position, but that's much more of I would say a luck position. So definitely think about that as, you're, if you're in a position similar to that, like say you're already in help desk, right? And you work closely with someone on the development team. Well, guess what? That is a great resource for you to reach out to ask them how they learned and how they are progressing, what projects they're working on. And they can give you some really cool ideas that, are really, really helpful for your own personal development if that's something that you want to do. Okay. So anyway, back to my rant there, back onto the GitHub thing. Putting your work up on GitHub allows your potential employers to go see your work and see the showcase that you are presenting to yourself, similar to a website, right? I have my own website. I don't have my own GitHub stuff because everything that I work on today, like it's all proprietary and I don't really have time for my personal stuff anymore. So I don't have a GitHub, but I do have a personal website that showcases my skills and showcases what I can do. So that is also another alternative. Build out your online presence. If you don't have a LinkedIn, build out a LinkedIn. That's also really important. You just kind of want to make yourself well known. The next step, and this is, again, the hardest step, is landing that first interview and eventually getting that job. The interviews themselves, so it depends on the company you're going for. In my experience, and I'm sure a lot of people will differ with this, you want to go for a non-technology company. If this is your very first job, you want to go for a non-technology company, whether it's just it could be any other business literally other than a technology or a software business. My recommendation with that is because you're going to be surrounded by what is usually a more hostile environment, and everyone in a technology company and everyone in a software development company already knows a lot more than you do. They know a lot more than you do. And they're not always going to hire in people that are super green just because they could probably do what you are wanting to do in about a quarter of the time. That's generally how it works if you're new to software development. A senior could easily write what you're writing very, very quickly. So thinking about that, that's why I recommend that you start in maybe a smaller company that's not necessarily focused on software development, but maybe they need, if you're going in for front-end development, for example, maybe you're going in as a, front-end designer, right? Or you're going in as a UI UX developer for a company like a, smaller shop. Or it could be a big shop with a small IT department, either way. But that gives you the chance to prove yourself and get a resume down where you have that title that you are a developer and you are on there, whether you're learning too much or not. And learning is a very big part of software development. You never stop learning, but it allows you to at least get a title in a job where you are a software developer. And that immediately clears out any doubt out of other employers' minds that you're worthy. So just keep that in mind because while I think that interviewing a lot is really helpful, and I think that's really good practice, if you focus on employers that are looking for a developer to come in and solve their problems, then that's almost, in my opinion, a better learning experience than being in a giant development shop. You may learn how to do things the wrong way. You may do things the wrong way and still achieve a successful result. Software development is not black and white. There are better ways and worse ways to do things, but if you get the same result in the end, it's still right. So yes, you're not going to get the same discipline that you get from college or that you get from a development shop, but you have a job and you are a software developer. So just keep that in mind when you're looking out for software development jobs if that's the stage that you're in. And of course, if you guys have any questions for me, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'll happily answer. I am a cloud architect. I've been there. I started as help desk and worked my way all the way through systems, all the way up into systems development, into automation, and then into software development. And now I'm here as cloud architect, and I lead a software development team for my company. So if you guys have any questions, again, please leave them in the comments below. I am more than happy to answer them and try to help you guys along your own way. All right, guys. Well, until next time, I will see you later.